we found them. They're opening a new club this weekend with an Elvis competition.
Get your blue suede shoes on.
Way too low, I got the hair and
You look ridiculous.
but I didn't have the money for the blue suede shoes. Let's go get go, cause I don't want to stop.
Do I know them?
I said you gotta pay the dues to the king of rock and roll.
Yeah, my name is Keith Large. I'm the producer of Wheel Gone Kid 5, which is an ongoing web series, and to really confuse everybody, there's actually 6 Wheel Gone Kid films because we call one Wheel Gone Kid 3.5. So number 5 is effectively number 6. And I wrote the first 3 in the series. I co-wrote the 4th one, which is 3.5, and then the director Wayne Kelly, he wrote this one, which is Wheel Gone Kid 5. Through a chance meeting, when a plane didn't take off where I was going to watch another film prior to lockdown, I met a lady called Rita, who's a hairdresser, and I turned Rita and her then 6-year-old son Reese into actor and actress. And I wrote The Wheel Gone Kid just for a bit of fun towards the end of lockdown, just for something to do. And we made it, and the guy who edited it, Matt Holt, says this is going to be a real winner, Keith. No, we just did it for a bit of fun. And it just really took off. It won 30 awards very quickly around the world. Rita and Reese became superstars overnight. They were on local television, and then they got a 4.5-minute piece on Channel 5 News on national television. So on the back of that, we just decided to keep running with it, and it's just done fabulous. Rita and Reese have been out to Hollywood, New York, Barcelona, Folkestone, all the places that you need to be in life. In Wheel Gone Kid 3, there's a moment where there's a crowd scene at the opening, and there's a guy doing a slow hand clapping, and he goes on to have another part in the last Wheel Gone Kid film, where he's now a patient in hospital. And he says this very funny line about could he have a cup of tea when Houdini's escaped and he's on the run. And that got such a great laugh in the last film that we gave him a bigger role in this film. And I've got to say again, I think my favourite scene in this film is Tommy's the guy I'm talking about who plays the little bodyguard. And I think my favourite scene in this film is where he's introduced, where they use the trick with the camera and they show his height. I just love that. So yeah, I think he steals it. I think it's has all the iconic scenes in the whole series actually. But what's really nice is he's got a bigger part in this film. So it's good to see people elevate. I just think he's actually a natural actor. He's got this really calm demeanour, and he makes it look so easy.
So I'm really in awe of what you've done here. Did you originally set out to make it comedic, or did it just happen?
I would say actually again it just happened. Yeah, the very first one, Wheel Gone Kid, which has got just Rita and Reese, the mother and son in. I just wrote as a little script for Reese. So how that came about was during lockdown, Rita had asked me if I would give Reese some extra reading. And I live about 50 miles away, so this was all done over FaceTime. So imagine he's only 6 years of age at this point. And I used to read a page of the book, and Reese being a cheeky 6-year-old, I could see that he wasn't really looking at the book, he was rocking on his chair, and he'd get me to read it again. And then Dad goes, now your turn. He goes, no, read it one more time. And I'd read it about 4 times, and I'd finally persuade him and say, come on, it's your turn now. And he wasn't looking at the page, but he could memorise, he was memorising it, he was rocking on his chair, and he could memorise the page. And I thought, producer brain comes in, if he can memorise a page of writing in a book, he's going to have no trouble memorising lines of dialogue. So I just wrote this short script for him, and I didn't set it out necessarily to be funny, but it obviously turned out that way. And then as the series expanded, it has very much become a comedy. But a lot of people like us doing that. It's been really well received all around the world, particularly in America. And I think, I hate to say it, but with so much doom and divisiveness and dreaded hate going on in the world. I just think a lot of people just see it as a complete antidote to all the horrible things that are going on in the world, and it's just pure escapism. For anybody who's probably a fan of football, then by far the biggest name that we've had in the film is Neil Warnock, who, for anybody who's not a fan of football, his claim to fame is he's won more promotions out of the Championship than any other football manager. He's managed more Football League games in England than any football manager, and he was absolutely fantastic to work with. And again, he came along when we'd had one or two things fall through. We'd been waiting on a key location. I won't say where an Barrister club, but it was a football club. We really thought we was going to get it, and they kept us waiting for 2 months, and then they gave us all those weak excuses of why. Then we had, I won't embarrass the person, we had a very well-known actress who again sort of gave us the intimation that she really wanted to come on board, then has sort of stopped communicating with you. And about a week after that, Neil Warnock was doing a talk at Nottingham Playhouse, and I wrote him a letter and gave it to the guy on the stage door, and it got to him, and he phoned me up a week later and said he'd love to do it. I said the moral of the whole story is, particularly with filmmaking, I suppose with life as well, is when things hit brick walls and you think, oh, this is never going to work out, if you keep going, it will. It's just about, no, it's as simple as just about having tenacity and never ever giving up. And there's a great quote that I think goes around the internet in a minute, but a winner is a loser who tried one more time. And that's what it's all about. Just keep going.
We found them. They're opening a new club this weekend with an Elvis competition.
Get your blue suede shoes on.
Way too low, I got the hair and the
You look ridiculous.
but I didn't have the money for the blue suede shoes. Let's go get go, cause I don't want to stop.
Do I know them?
I said you gotta pay the dues to the king of rock and
Hiya.
roll.